and welcome to another episode of the Plaintiff Rests. This time we are going to jump right in and we are going to cover things to watch for if your children participate in online gaming.
Yeah, so the FBI recently released a study that said over 50% of all children in the United States are playing games online. And so we think it's important to highlight some of the dangers that can exist in this, quote, digital playground. We all have a lot of experience in watching our child when they're very little on a traditional playground and making sure that some strange man or adult is not interacting with them or trying to kidnap them or hurt them. But we do not have as much experience, obviously, on this digital playground on how we can protect our children. And sometimes I think we get complacent knowing that our child is in the room next door playing a game and they must be safe. The reality is, because all of the major gaming devices now, whether it's an Xbox, Nintendo Switch, or PlayStation, all have these online features that allow games to be downloaded and also interactive play with strangers or people you know. So we think it's important that you know what type of device is in your home and then study what the parental controls are for that device.
Right, because your child may think, your 11-year-old may think that they're talking to another 11-year-old, and they might actually be talking to some creepy 47-year-old in their mama's basement who's just pretending to be an 11-year-old.
That's right.
And so even the best intentioned children can be tricked and coerced without even realizing that it's happening. And I will say a lot of the grooming behaviors that happen do not start off as, hey, let's send me a dirty picture. They start off casual and subtle, and they'll form a friendship with your child, or they'll say things like, hey, I've got a free coupon code, or I've got this
cheat code. I can give you a cheat code so you can advance or get whatever.
To the next level of this game. And so it looks innocent enough. And then before you know it, they've said, hey, do you have a Facebook account, or do you have a TikTok, or do you have an Instagram account? And so then they've moved the conversation from this gaming device over to another platform. And so even if you're monitoring this one, you may think everything's fine, but it's actually moved to another platform entirely. And that's why I think, and whenever I talk to my friends who have children that game, I say to them, look, I would recommend that if you cannot call their mama and say what is going on, that they shouldn't be in the circle of people that your kid's allowed to game with.
Right. So those parental controls that are part of most of these modern devices, unfortunately, are not the default settings. So you will have to learn how to set the parameters and what your child can and can't access and who can and can't access your child. So that is what games can be downloaded, and they all have age ratings, much like movies.
Right, they're called ESRB ratings. Okay. And so if you've got a 9-year-old playing, you could set it and say nothing that is 10 plus is even allowed on this gaming device.
And the other aspects of those parental controls are you can disable any of the sort of interactive play with people outside the home, or you can limit who that interactive play is with. You can say, all right, these are the select people that I have authorized my child to play a game with, and you just make sure it's someone that you know and trust, that is actually a peer of theirs and a friend. We have the ability as parents to just have these discussions with your child. I think it's important to know what games they like, know what games they're playing, what is it about the features of that game that you like, who are you playing the games with.
Who they're playing the games with, or who they think they're playing the games with might not actually be who they're playing the games with. And we can certainly provide a link at the end of this video to some of these FBI reports, and that might be an important thing to show your child when you're talking about this and when you're setting these parameters in case you're getting some pushback. And if you're getting pushback and they're saying, no, I need to game with this stranger I don't know, that might be a good starting point for the conversation. Like, why? So I'll link those for y'all. And the other thing I would say is, if you're not comfortable having this conversation with your child, that's an even better reason to set the controls. Because if you're not comfortable talking about, explicit videos circulating on the internet, then maybe they aren't ready to be let loose on the internet. I say this to my mom friends sometimes, and I say, is your child doing their own laundry? Can they operate the washing machine by themselves? Because if they cannot operate the washing machine by themselves and you don't give them that level of responsibility, please don't set them loose on the internet with no parameters, because they're not ready. People are tricky. The sex predators and the child predators, they are advanced and they're on the cutting edge of this, and they know how to trick your child and how to pretend that they're their age.
Yeah, and
So,
the harsh reality is once they have one graphic image of your child, they've got what they need. They've got what they call the sextortion sort of piece, that they'll say, look, if you don't send me more images, or if you don't meet me at this location, I'm going to send this image to your school. I'm going to send it to
your friends or your parents.
And so the child is sitting there trying to figure out, how do I fix this? And if they're on their own trying to do that and they don't feel comfortable talking to you about it, because we haven't had these discussions about how people will manipulate them online, then they may be suffering in silence. And you want to make sure that whoever your kids are gaming with, if you have the ability to control it in a way that it's only people that are not there to do them harm, then you're being proactive to protect them on this digital playground.
And if they have been playing without these restrictions, you can certainly always go in. You can try to look at the previous chats that have been happening. I will tell you those can be deleted, but you can certainly go in there and just sort of see what's been going on. And then also let your child know if anything ever has happened, please come to me, let me know, because the worst thing that they can do is suffer in silence. I'll give y'all some links. I'll also link our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Twitter and my email. You can always send us your questions. I hope this is helpful, and I hope this provides y'all a jumping off place for some meaningful conversations.
Clearly, we're all learning this digital playground together, and we just want you to know that there may be tools or features on your child's device that you can help protect them from a predator. But with that, the plaintiff rests.
Bye, guys.
Take care, y'all.